Well, good morning to everybody attending this Gatta Ambassadorial Roundtable. We're delighted that we are able to meet in this webinar, and I welcome everybody who has signed up. I think there are almost 200 people. We actually have, I know, 196 people registered, which is an excellent response, a terrific response to the invitation. We in the Chamber are delighted to welcome our principal guest today, who will be making a keynote speech. That is His Excellency, Mr. Yusuf Al-Kabar, the Ambassador of the State of Qatar here in London. Your Excellency, a very special welcome to you. And although obviously we always look forward to our presentations, I think a lot of us would also like to see a more face-to-face connection, and we are very glad as well to be able to welcome the presentation from the commercial attaché from the Embassy of Qatar here in London, and look forward to what he has to tell us about the opportunities for trade with Qatar very shortly. I don't need to tell anybody attending this event today that this really has been a year like no other because of COVID-19. It has affected almost every country in the world. It has caused terrible grief, enormous anxiety to millions of people because, of course, of the illness itself, because, of course, of the tragedies that have been visited upon so many families, but also because of the way it has affected all our economies and our working lives, and of course the way in which it has disrupted trade and commerce around the globe. And I'm sure that the huge efforts that have been made by our brilliant doctors, our wonderful scientists and our medics in all countries is enormously appreciated by all of us. And I'm sure that we all hope that the vaccination programs that are being rolled out throughout the world will continue to get this pandemic under control so that we can return to a normal business lives and do what we do best, that is create trade, create wealth, and live a life that makes a better world for the next generation. So the links between the UK and the ABCC have always been very strong. I myself have visited Gatta many times, and I know from my time as a minister how much the UK values our friendship and our trade and our working lives together. Indeed, the ABCC, our working motto is friendship through trade. So I hope that today we will strengthen those bonds further through this webinar, and that we can all look forward to meeting in person in the very near future, because meeting in person is really important, and it's very important to our business relationships. We in the Chamber look forward to welcoming our friends from Gatta as soon as the restrictions permit. And now, if I may, I would like to turn to my Secretary General to give his welcome to all of you who are attending. Mr. Banda Alreda, perhaps you'd like to say a few words now. Thank you.
Thank you, very nice. Well, basically, I had few words written for me to read off, but I think I'm just going to speak out of my heart. Seeing two of my dearest friends, His Excellency Ambassador Yusuf, as well as Mr. Abdullah. We've worked so much in the past, and we've worked hand to hand in promoting Qatar as well as the UK. I think today's presentation from Mr. Abdullah would be tremendous. I personally look forward to see the new developments in Qatar. It's really hard to catch up with the speed that Qatar is going on. Every single day I get amazed by the development and the new projects going on in Qatar. Qatar is one of the dearest countries to my heart. I've been there so many times. I have friends and families over there. And every time I go, every time I speak to someone, I hear new development going on in new different sector. So I think today's opportunity to present Qatar, or at least give a piece of what Qatar is going through in terms of development, would be exciting. And I'm going to be one of the audience to listen deeply with open heart to Mr. Abdullah's presentation, especially, and His Excellency welcome speech. So I don't want to take more time. I'm going to go back to you, Fairness, and let our speakers take their time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Banda. So, Your Excellency, may I now turn to you, Mr. Yusuf Ali Al-Kafka, as the Ambassador of the State of Qatar here in London, to give us your keynote speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Baroness, for giving me this opportunity to speak about Qatar and the possible investment opportunity. And thank you, Bandar, also for this invitation. And we would like to spend quite a good time with you during this presentation. So let me start, Baroness, with my official speech before back to the presentation of Abdullah. So I would like to begin by thanking the Baroness Simons of Burnham, Dean, and also thanking Mr. Bandar Rida, Secretary General and CEO of the Arab British Chamber of Commerce, for inviting me to speak at the Arab Chamber of Commerce, which is an organization with a long, prominent history promoting trade and investment between UK and the Arab world. I would also want to take this opportunity to thank the Arab ambassadors and other distinguished guests for attending today. This webinar comes at a time when Qatar is preparing for the momentous opportunity to host the FIFA World Cup in 2022, which is next year. The first and most anticipated event of its kind in the Middle East and North Africa region, putting my country on the most popular sporting stage in the world. At the heart of Qatar Vision 2030 is the achievement of the sustainable economic, environmental, and social legacy for Qatar. Hosting the FIFA World Cup 2022 brings with it a wealth of economic activity, including but not limited to large infrastructural projects, transports, connectivity, and many more. And I am delighted to point out that UK business are actively participating in creating this legacy. Indeed, there are many reasons to invest in Qatar. In 2019, Qatar was rated as the most innovative economy in the Middle East. We also rank highly across a range of global competitiveness metrics, from LNG productions to exports, and we are ranked the 8th in the world in digital technology and innovation. In fact, Qatar is leading in internet penetration and ranked 4th in the financing of small and medium enterprises. This is supported by robust network infrastructure that connects Qatar digitally and physically, internally and internationally, from transport to next generation 5G. We also take a great pride in Qatar's educational sector. Our research programs and business acumen are transforming Qatar into a knowledge-based economy. We have a growing number of women enterprises, evidenced by establishment of Qatar Business Women Association in 2000. Women are integral part of contributing to Qatar's business profile locally and internationally. In terms of our workforce, around 59% of women in the country are employed and working, compared to the MENA average of 25%. Moreover, our health system has been ranked the 5th in the world, along with our venture capital availability. Qatar's fiscal strength currency stability, and long-term investment outlook all instill internationally confidence and in the resilience of its economy, even in light of the pandemic. In the field of energy, as many of you will know, we are the largest producer and exporter of liquefied natural gas in the world. South Hook LNG terminal in Wales is a good example of some of the bilateral investment between Qatar and the UK, providing an equivalent of 1/5 of the current UK natural gas demand. Beyond fossil fuel, we in Qatar are continuously focusing on diversifying our economy and reducing reliance on these resources. In fact, this year, we'll see the launch of Qatar's first large-scale solar power plant in Al Kharsa'a. It will provide sustainable, affordable, and clean energy to industries, services, and individuals through the Qatari grid. Furthermore, the UK expertise and leadership in the green finance sector, something we strongly desire to partner with and benefit from. As many of you know, Qatar has been at the forefront of the investing in the UK, which is in fact the single largest destination for Qatari investment. What I wish to stress most today is that there is much more potential for the UK-Qatar economic partnership to grow, not only in London, but across England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. In addition, the Investment Promotion Agency provides a multilateral network of across business and licensing platforms over multiple sectors, ensuring long-standing success in Qatar. I would also like to add that the establishment of Qatar Free Zones offers flawless trade hubs and routes via sea, air, and land, which connect all corners of the world through Qatar. Qatar provides not only welcoming business, but also cultural environment for investors. Expats, who make up 2/3 of our population, have the opportunity to experience a rich and varied cultural life in Qatar, whether through visiting world-renowned museums, art galleries, or enjoying the country's rich hospitality. Qatar provides a safe and family-friendly place to work and live in. From my personal experience as ambassador to the UK, I can tell you that our countries are both eager to take our economic relationship to the next level and to intensifying trade and investment. Our cooperation must continue to all areas. We must be constantly, and collectively receptive to any ideas and embrace the science and technology that will benefit future generations in the UK and Qatar sustainable. Thank you, Baroness.
Statement. I'm also very happy to say that amongst our audience today, we have a couple of your colleagues, the Jordanian ambassador, Mr. Omar Al-Nahar, and also the Iraqi ambassador, Mr. Mohammed Jafar Al-Sadr. So I know they're in the audience, and I would like to acknowledge their presence in the audience and thank them for joining us today. Now, turning from that excellent presentation, and I must say, very encouraging presentation from Your Excellency, may I now turn to your colleague, Mr. Abdullah Ali Ghanem, who is, of course, the commercial attaché at the Embassy for Qatar here in London, who is going to make a presentation about, I hope, the opportunities that are available in Gatta. May I turn over to you now, Mr. Ali Ghanem.
Thank you, Baroness, and I would like to first take this opportunity to thank the Arab-British Chamber of Commerce for hosting us and giving us this opportunity to present to you about the investment environment in Qatar and the various investment opportunities. So I will turn on to the presentation now. I hope you can see it. It's connected. In this presentation, first of all, Assalamu alaikum, and I would like to welcome everyone, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to this presentation. We will talk about introducing to you the Invest Qatar brand and talk about Qatar's value proposition. Overview of the presentation. First, we will talk about, give you an introduction about the Investment Promotion Agency of Qatar that was recently established, in short, IPA, and how IPA Qatar can help investors. Then we will talk briefly about the role of Invest Qatar, and then we will go to talk about Qatar Free Zones Authority, and then move to the Qatar value proposition, and end it with a positive outlook, and the emerging investment opportunities. Of course, we will just focus on some of the main reasons to encourage everyone to invest in Qatar. We can't, talk about all of the reasons. That will take us a full day. I don't mind sitting here, but I know everyone is busy. They have a busy schedule. Moving on. So the Investment Promotion Agency Qatar, IPA, was established in July or launched in July 2019. It basically acts as an umbrella organization for promoting and attracting foreign direct investment, and it focuses also on coordinating the activities of investment promotion under what we have as the Invest Qatar brand. I don't know if do you have the presentation still connected?
I do. I hope everybody else does.
Yes, because I thought I lost the from my side. I can't see it anymore. Sorry.
We're on the introduction page, which is introducing us to the Investment Promotion Agency. Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to minimize my screen. Okay. Sorry about that. So.
Don't worry. Take your time.
So the IPA Qatar, as we mentioned, the Investment Promotion Agency of Qatar, works closely with the businesses. You as a business or as an investor, they help you understand what is your objective, what are you looking for, what is your aim, what is your target when you want to invest in Qatar. IPA will connect you with the right shareholders. Provide you with the resources, support you through all the steps, to make sure that you have achieve your long-term success in Qatar. So, we help you here in the embassy, of course, to connect you with the Investment Promotion Agency, to give you all the relevant information. They will connect you with the right people in Doha, help you network, you know, to fulfill the potential for your investment. And you know, the main stakeholders that the Investment Promotion Agency, IPA, works with is from the government sector. There is the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which oversees all commercial and industrial activities in the state of Qatar. We have the Qatar Free Zones Authority, which is you know, operates as a free zone, focusing on logistics, chemicals, maritime, and emerging technologies. Then we have the Qatar Science and Technology Park, QSTP, and Qatar Financial Center, QFC, which both operate as special economic zones, which functions in a similar fashion as free zones. So QSTP basically focuses on developing technology and innovation, attracting entrepreneurs, creating an entrepreneurship ecosystem in Qatar, you know, with the focus of research as its core. While in the QFC, Qatar Financial Center, which is one of the world leading and fastest growing onshore business and financial centers, focuses on financial and also non-financial sectors, you know, mainly digital, sports, and tech. QFC has more than 900 global clients registered there. And in fact, if you go to these free zones or economic zones, you go to their websites, you can find the public registrar of all the companies that are enlisted there, just to have an idea of the type of and level and size of companies that these economic and free zones attract. So just going briefly to talk about the Qatar Free Zones Authority, we have in Qatar 3 free zones. We have the airport free zone at Ras Abu Fantas, which is located right next to Hamad International Airport. We have the port free zone at Al Hol, which is located right next to Hamad Port. And then we have the QFC downtown solutions at Musharraf, which is at the heart of Qatar. And this will be the home of Media City, and it will also focus on companies from the IT sector. So now the main focus of this presentation, which is the Qatar value proposition. So His Excellency, the Ambassador, mentioned some of the numbers, you know, and I will go through some more numbers. Qatar as a competitive economy ranked number 3 regionally as per the Global Competitiveness Index, with a forecast of improvement in the near future. We have a very stable and young population. So we have 42% of the population in Qatar is under the age of 30 in 2019. Qatar ranked as the 3rd in for impact of tax and business, according to the World Bank Doing Big Business in 2020. It is the number 1 in the Arab world in entrepreneurship focus. High quality education, 5th ranking globally and the top of the region. In terms of the efficiency of the effective government, it is ranked number 9 public institution globally, which highlights the government effectiveness. And in terms of global connectivity, you know, we have Qatar Airways, which connects to more than 160 global destinations, and we will focus on that later on in the presentation. And in Qatar, we rank number 2 when it comes to network readiness in the Middle East. Of course, we have our knowledge, connectivity, natural resources, cultural resources, as His Excellency pointed out, and our capital resources. We will discuss more of that in the next slides. So when we talk about the economy, Qatar ranks as the 4th globally in terms of the highest GDP per capita. But of course, as many of you know, that it ranks number 1 when it comes to GDP PPP per capita. The projected GDP growth in Qatar, after a crazy year of pandemic last year, it's 2.4 in 2021. And we expect even more growth in 2022, which will reach 3.6%. We are the number 1 LNG exporter in the world, with the 3rd largest reserve of natural gas. The annual production of LNG is 77 million tons, which will expand to 110 million tons by 2023. Qatar is known to have a very high credit quality. We are the credit is AA from S&P and Fitch, AA3 from Moody. It's always the forecast is either stable or improving. We are number 1 in the Middle East in terms of global finance safety index, and we are the 4th most attractive global destination for talent, something that we pride ourselves with. In terms of knowledge, as we mentioned, we're number 1 global entrepreneurship index in the region. We have world-class healthcare and education system, as pointed out by His Excellency. And Qatar, of course, has invested heavily in infrastructure, more than $200 billion in the build-up to the World Cup. But of course, the World Cup is just the beginning. We're, now we're already looking beyond the World Cup of 2022. We have unparalleled connectivity. We are leading the world in infrastructure in 5G leadership. We're ranked number 4, 99% internet penetration. Qatar has extensive international trade agreements, be it bilateral investment agreements, free trade agreements, and double taxation agreements, which we will talk about later as well. So if we want to talk about the connectivity of Qatar, or the location of Qatar, as you can see here in the map, Qatar is very much geostrategically located, very much in the crossroad of global trade. So within 8 hours from Qatar, from the capital Doha, you reach more than 60% of the world population, which is an amazing number. And so you can see, with these big circles, that just 5 days sailing, you can reach more than 2 billion people. And then, as mentioned, 8 hours flight, you can reach more than 60%. And all of these blue dots are basically the destinations that, Qatar Airways and Hamad International Airport are directly linked to. And this gives us a very unique opportunity in Qatar to, have more access, market accessibility and connectivity. So in Qatar, we look at this, how we can connect different parts of the world. We, as a central location in the world map, connecting the Asian market with the US market, expanding on the capacity and shortage of trade routes, with the help of Qatar Airways, of course. And then, leveraging our geographical position, we can connect also Asia to Africa. If we go back to the previous slide, you can see all the different destinations that Qatar Airways is connected to in Africa and Asia. And last but not least, of course, the Asian-Europe trade, connecting Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, China, to the European continent, and of course also the UK. As we know, last year during the pandemic, Qatar Airways was one of the most active airlines, helping people reach home, go back to their families. But here, focusing from a trade point of view, you know, we can connect industry-specific opportunities in this route between Asia and Europe. And you know, we may think, how is this possible? How we can do this in Qatar? Of course, you know, this is all thanks to the mighty power of Qatar Airways, which is now actually ranked #1 air cargo airline in the world, flying to more than 160 destinations. We have the 4th best airport in the world, and Hamad International Airport is actually ranked the 15th largest airport by cargo. Incredible numbers, of course. We also have Hamad Port, which started operating in September 2017, and Hamad Port is directly connected to more than 40 global ports. And the aim that the government of Qatar is targeting is to create, to make Hamad Port and the connectivity of Hamad Port, you know, as active and as connected as Qatar Airways. So we have Qatar Airways flying the skies, and we want to have, you know, our shipment fleets, you know, basically crossing the seas. So, you know, then moving on to more, you know, how we can attract you, you know, if, you know, tell you more numbers. So in Qatar, starting from January 2019, foreign investors and businessmen can own 100% of their business across all sectors except the financial sector. We have one of the lowest corporate taxes in the world, and you can, with zero personal tax, zero tax on personal income. Of course, even the corporate tax rate can be waived. You can get corporate tax holiday. As you have seen, we have economic zones, and these economic zones will keep expanding. There is no quantitative quota at all when it comes to importing machineries for your projects or business, raw material as well. We already have very low custom tariffs, an average of 5%, but some of that even is waived, you know, just to help you establish your business or work on your projects. We have strong protection against expropriation. Qatar has bilateral investment treaties with most of the countries around the world. Same for double taxation treaties, more than 70 countries, including the UK. We have a double taxation treaty with the UK that is already in force. Easy access to funding and equity participation. I think also it is important to mention that very recently the Shura Council in Qatar has approved a draft law to increase foreign ownership of listed companies in the Qatar Stock Exchange to 100%. Now it lies at 49%, but in the near future, foreign investors can own up to 100% of listed companies in the Qatar Stock Exchange. Qatar also has recently enacted a law to allow foreign ownership of properties in more than 20 different locations in Doha, and that will give the investor permanent residency. The very liberal immigration and employment rules, as you know, if you haven't been following, we keep improving and liberalizing our employment and labor law in Doha. There is visa entry for more than 800 countries, nationalities, and you know, protection of foreign workers. Also, talking about the recent laws that have been approved here in Doha, I mentioned the ownership of listed companies, but just last month, actually the Shura Council approved a draft law on establishing a court for investment and commerce. So in Qatar, very soon, we will have a special court to basically look into dispute between investors and businesses. We already have a specialized dispute basically centers, one in the Qatar Financial Center that I have mentioned before, and one in Qatar Chamber of Commerce. So we already have these two, but we will also have a third one focusing on investment and commerce. Moving on, and I am aware that soon we will run out of time, and I would like to give more time for people to ask their questions. Yes, so what are the investment opportunities? What are the sectors that we focus on here in Doha? As part of Qatar Vision 2030, one of the main pillars, the economic pillar, focusing on the economic growth and diversification, away from the oil and gas sector. We like to develop new opportunities for international companies, who would like to do business in our country. So as you see, these are some of the focused sectors: infrastructure and logistics, the financial services across the board, which mainly Qatar Financial Center can really help you, through these services. The entertainment service, another sector that is open 100% for foreign investment. Technology across the board, high tech, fintech, health tech, agricultural technology, advanced manufacturing. We like to focus on and attract investors who like to do projects that are more technology focused and intensive rather than labor intensive. The tourism sector, which is flourishing in Qatar, pharmaceutical and agricultural sector, which we already have many basically cooperation and joint projects between Qatar and other Qatari businessmen and British companies in the agricultural culture sector. As a net food importing country as Qatar, food security is an important project, and so we know in the UK specifically, technology and agricultural culture, the agricultural sector is flourishing. So we always look for these opportunities. I think I will stop here as we are reaching the 11:40 o'clock. If you need any additional information, you can contact this email, info@invest.qa, or visit www.invest.qa. You can also contact the embassy. If you have any questions. I would also like to point out, if you go to this website and click on media, you can reach a detailed investment guide, more than 70 pages, to guide you through investment in Qatar. So, if you are looking for a specific information that I have mentioned, of course, feel free to ask. But that extensive guide is very useful, and I encourage everyone to visit the website and look at the guide. It's available in English and in Arabic. So I think I will stop here, and if if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Well, thank you very much. That was a fantastically comprehensive oversight, very interesting and packed with information. And yes, we are starting to get some questions coming in. I think the first one, though, is directed to Your Excellency, the Ambassador, and it comes from Mr. Mark Schooler, who is Director of Protect and Prepare Limited, who says that they have done quite a lot of work in Gatta. It goes on to say, with the Supreme Council to develop, the Gatta emergency services, they've worked with them, interoperability principles in Doha, and very importantly, over the preparedness for the FIFA World Cup, and with the National Command Center, police, civil defense, and the ambulance system. They've obviously got fantastic contacts. The question he wants to put to Your Excellency is, when do you expect the barriers to open up? It's coming back, of course, to the question of COVID, because COVID has stopped this small company being able to get to Doha because of the restrictions within both our countries, not just yours, ours here too. Do you have any idea about when those restrictions are likely to be lifted for the business community?
Thank you, Baroness. I think this is an excellent question, where we just, as individuals, with that we want to have to find an answer, but with the keep those variants changes that raising the awareness on our both countries and the rest of the world that that the defined time is not clear yet. Hopefully that with the vaccination and the continuous program in our nations to fully vaccinate the people would encourage all of the rest of the world to open their borders for the commercial and trades and exchange, the visits between the countries. Having said that, now the numbers in Qatar is very low. We passed the second wave, thank God that we are now looking forward to release some of the rules there, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Looking forward for the going back again to a normal life. As I said, the vaccination, Qatar has reached now more than 60% of total population vaccination with the two jabs of the vaccine. For the plan is by October, hopefully that will be up to 85 to 90% of the population is being vaccinated. And that will allow more to open and release some of this restriction over the borders and having our normal life back again. Looking forward, as you said, Baroness, it's a matter of the biosecurity committee on both countries and the rest of the world to study and evaluate the numbers based on the new variants.
Absolutely. And as I'm sure all the British participants and listeners to our conversation will know, we in the United Kingdom are due to have the next announcement of whether there will be any further relaxation on the 21st of June. So we will have more about relaxation at home, but I expect more about international travel as well, because there are many, many people who are, of course, very interested in when the restrictions are going to be lifted. Next question I have here is from Mr. Moses Solomon, who is the chairman and CEO of CBH Inc. And he's very interested in public-private partnerships and in the mega projects around public-private partnerships, because of course he says these create sustainable and self-reliant economies. And I think this question is directed at you, Mr. Ali Ghanem. How open is Gatta to form alliances in PPP as part of Gatta's domestic and global investment strategy? So PPP partnerships, how open can they be to those sorts of alliances?
Yes, so Qatar actually recently enacted a law basically related to PPP. So we have a PPP law that was issued in May 2020. So just marks 1 year last year. Basically regulating the partnership between private companies and public, the public sector. There is now the focus is on the education sector and the health sector, building of schools, building of hospitals, but then we also have infrastructure projects, and then the focus will be expanded to other sectors. We do, from a legal point of view, we do have the law regulating PPP. We do have public-private partnership, private-public partnership projects already in Qatar under construction, and that will be announced in the near future. So if there is an interest to understanding more or knowing more about specific sector or some specific projects, we are very happy to, you can share our contact details, and please reach out to the embassy, and we're happy to provide more detailed information. But the PPP is something that is a focus in Qatar, and the government been working on it, to finally basically have it as a venue to basically help build projects and engage the private sector in such public projects and important projects in Doha.
So Mr. Salman should get in touch with you at the embassy, and you'll be able to have a more detailed conversation with him when he can pin down what sort of PPP projects he might be interested in. Is that a...
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, great. Thank you. The next question comes from Diba Salman, who very nicely thanks you all for being here today, as do I. She goes on to say Gatta's statistics on SME and women in enterprise are indeed impressive, but, she says, our experience in exploring opening a business demonstrated a very high rate of expense when compared to other parts of the MENA region. Can you explain how Gatta is competitive or affordable for SME creative companies? And again, I think that one's probably back to you, Mr. Ali Ghanem, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course. So, Qatar recently, basically, one of the ways to encourage starting business, especially for SMEs, and so one of the articles in the new law to encourage investment is we dropped the minimum, basically, investment or budget to start a business in Qatar. So you don't need to, show any kind of specific balance in a bank account to start a business. You can just go and do your paperwork right away. You can also, we always encourage people to, when they contact us or they contact Invest Qatar, to tell us about these hurdles that they face, because sometimes there is, you can follow a route, or you can follow a, basically contact, the right stakeholders or the right public entities that can basically help you, or you can start a business, with minimum expenses. We have Qatar Development Bank, which focuses on helping SMEs start a business. We have incubation centers as well, that can help SMEs start businesses. We understand that actually previously that was an issue, starting business in Qatar. We heard that it was expensive, but hopefully not anymore. So, we hope that if this will not basically derail you from starting business in Qatar, because things are different now. And if you need any help, step by step, we can take you through it. Again, people can, of course, contact us to help them basically just iron these details and avoid all of these basically maybe some unclear steps or procedures that some people can go through.
Well, that's a great answer, and I hope that Ms. Salman will indeed be in touch with you and see how things are changing and how much help you can give her. Next question comes from James Thomas, who says, for UK businesses that are not currently working in Gatta and do not have professional relationships with Gatta, how would you suggest such a business reach out to find suitable partners? What's the best way, if you've never been to Gatta before, but you're very interested about what you gentlemen have been saying today, what should they be advised to do to find the UK business finding suitable partners in Gatta?
Okay, well, so there is more than one venue, I can mention 2 or 3 options, for people who would like to take notes. I already mentioned Invest Qatar, so invest.qa, which is the umbrella for promoting investment in Qatar and doing business. They can connect you to the right stakeholders. Another option is basically we have the single window, which is in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So if you Google single window Qatar or single window business Qatar, you will get the link, and it's basically this one-stop shop. You can reach out to them, and they take you by the hand, step by step, exactly what you need to do. They connect you to potential business partners as well. And a third option, also our good friends at Qatar Chamber of Commerce, also, who represent the private sector. So also, you can reach out to them. That's the third venue, and ask them that you're looking to do business in specific sectors about specific project. And of course, they will link you and they will share your information with their list of membership and connect you with the right members in Qatar Chamber. So these are 3 options. And of course, you can contact us at the embassy and we can help you.
So lots of different channels to be used, and thank you very much for reminding everybody that the Arab British Chamber of Commerce is here to help you as well, and that we can provide a lot of connectivity through our contacts with the embassies and with our contacts direct into the countries concerned. But very good to hear that so clearly stated from Gatta. Thank you very much. The next question comes actually from an old friend of mine, Michael Thomas, who is the chairman of Pathfinder Trade and Invest, and who knows the Middle East region very well indeed. He says, my company Pathfinder has a very successful track record of taking trade delegations to Gatta for many years. He says our last delegation pre-pandemic was very well received and consisted in investors, in developing, in education and training. With the current changes in sophistication and developing markets, what do you consider are the key sectors for business development for UK businesses in Qatar? And again, I think we, on this one, come back to you, Mr. Al-Ghanem, if you'd be so kind to tackle Michael Thomas's question.
Yes, of course. Well, first, I'd like to thank him, for his interest and his, always assistance, having trade missions in in Qatar, and the name of the company definitely rings a bell. So in terms of sectors in the UK, actually we have recently conducted a study about what sectors we would like to focus on, connecting especially SMEs in Qatar to their counterparts in the UK. And we are aware, when we talk about the UK economy, we're talking about majorly the focus on services sector. In Qatar, we are more of an industrial sector with oil and gas, but we are, to diversify away from that. We are looking at how we can strengthen our services sector. And we think the UK is one of the best destinations to connect with businesses in the services sector, mainly in finance and fintech, the health industry. So these are three of the main sectors and services. Education as well. We have a number of British and English schools and universities in Qatar already, but now also with the pandemic, there is more focus on technology that helps with education and health, distance learning, distance basically healthcare and health appointments. So these are some of the main basically sectors that we are focusing on, specifically for the UK and British businesses.
I've got a lot of questions coming in now because you clearly excited a lot of interest. I've got two questions here, which in some ways sort of balance each other. One says, and I don't know where it's come from, whether the individual's not put their name on, but how is Gatta seeking to strengthen its position as a leading gas exporter, including LNG, given the advantages of its huge reserves? But I want also to balance it with another question, which is, what steps is Gatta taking to create alternative energy sources in response to the need to reduce carbon emissions and meet climate commitments? Obviously, those are coming from two very different sides of the energy question, and they are, I think, the sorts of things that are on a lot of people's minds. On the one hand, LNG, how do you strengthen the position as a leading gas exporter? On the other hand, what about carbon emissions?
Well, thank you, Florence. I might take, just a brief to talk, maybe, and my colleague will add a little bit. Having said, the LNG, Qatar has taken lead at the moment by increasing the production of the from 77 million ton. The recent production of Qatar make it the largest producer to 110 in 2023. That will to say about the hydrocarbon emission. LNG considered the lowest emission producer of all hydrocarbon. Having said that, not means that Qatar has not taken any steps toward clean energy, where we mentioned that the Al Kharsa'a, the solar plant will be starting soon. Qatar is putting a lot of efforts on the clean energy and renewable energy, investing a lot heavily in that field. Having to said, the LNG is a clean energy. In terms of the hydrocarbon, the most cleanest, on terms of the emission, that will also help, to provide the cheap energy to the rest of the world. There is some restriction with the clean energy at the moment that it's not being developed fully to cover the huge demand on the supply of power. We appreciate that there will be new researches working in that field, and we are working in Qatar toward finding a solution for the renewable, sustainable energy. But Qatar is dedicated to that goal, and will continue to work not Al Kharsa power plant, but will be another plants in the future. And solar, wind will is been in our consideration. Qatar is working in Qatar Foundation. There is a lot of research about the renewable energy, and there is projects going in the future. Maybe my colleague Abdullah would like to add something about this.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Just maybe only two small points, which is, recently Qatar has opened its metro network in Qatar, which is run by electricity. It's clean energy, and also the bus links and public transportation is slowly shifting to being run by gas or electricity. And as many know, that Qatar 2022, the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, will be the first carbon neutral World Cup. So these are just a few examples, just adding to what His Excellency the Ambassador mentioned.
Thank you very much. Now, there's an interesting question that come in about Gatta's interest in UK markets, turning it round a bit. Your Excellency, could you comment on the importance of the UK market to Qatari investors, and what aspects of the UK economy are of greatest interest to investors from Gatta? I don't know if you want to answer that, or whether it's one for Mr. Abdullah.
I can take the lead to answer this, and then I will continue. My colleague Abdullah might add more. Well, thank you, Baroness. I think my speech I forward how much important the UK market for us. Many brands here that can mark Qatari investment, from Shaw to Harrods, Chelsea Barracks, South Bank. A lot of projects here is showing the Qatari interest, and of the investing in economy. That's make it the largest single investment for Qatar outside. Qatar is in the UK. It's very important. This is for the government and the public sector, but also individual investors are looking for opportunities, are continually looking for opportunity to invest here, not just in real estate, but also in some other projects. But having said that, there is also an interest on the program of vaccination in recent research on Oxford or other companies here, where we can find a solution. Qatar is interested in investing in these fields, so there is a lot of interest of investing in different sectors, technology, fintech, like my colleague Abdullah says, and the other programs that Qatar is looking forward. Especially post-Brexit, there will be a lot of cooperation between Qatar and UK in that regard. Maybe Michael Abdullah would like to add, maybe.
I don't really have much to add. Of course, Qatar interest in investing in the UK is apparent everywhere, and private investors also. Qataris travel to London even more than once a year, and it's like a second home for them. And they invest in real estate, they invest in businesses, healthcare, technology, everything they see that is fit their portfolio as well as a company. There is always an interest for that.
Great. We've mentioned the World Cup, of course, several times. So there's a very specific question here. about in what ways is the preparation for the 2022 FIFA World Cup helping to drive forward Qatar's economy in opening up new opportunities, but very particularly, how are UK companies contributing to this, and what opportunities for investors into the efforts over the 2022 World Cup, what opportunities are still available for investment?
Well, Baron, based on the some of the statistics that we had before, that there was more than 915 British companies investing on the projects, and that was in 2019. There might be more companies are investing, and that was in 2019, I think, worth of 1 billion of trade on that regard between companies working in the World Cup projects. There will be continuously opportunities. The World Cup, of course, most of the stadium almost finished, but there's still some of them about to finish, by the end of this year. To be ready for the World Cup, but there will be continuously opportunity. Qatar infrastructure project is open, and their Qatar plan vision for 2030 and more other projects in infrastructure, which is greater than the World Cup project, will be open for the companies to participate in those projects. There might be, something to add from my colleague Abdullah on the available opportunities for the companies.
Yes. So now I believe the Supreme Committee for the organizing the World Cup, they are now finalizing, I believe, the final wave of tenders and projects, because the World Cup is just in 1 year. And everything needs to be finalized, but there are a lot of support projects. We don't want people to focus narrowly on the World Cup, as it's going to happen just in 1 year. There are a lot of support projects in transportation, logistics, entertainment, even healthcare, technology. So all of these are projects that are available, support projects that are there. They will remain to be there. Qatar will host more mega projects, sports projects, and mega conventions and conferences. So the World Cup, as big as it is, as important as it is, it will be, we will have it, inshallah, next year. And then we will move forward, with more business opportunities. So the door is open, and the opportunities are there for anyone who is interested, and we can help them, just reach their investment's potential.
Thank you. Now, gentlemen, we've got about 5 minutes left. There are lots of questions. I am going to select a couple of them, but just remembering that we do only have about 5 minutes left. His Excellency mentioned Brexit a while ago as an opportunity, and certainly there will be opportunities for bilateral trade agreements, absolutely right. But the question is, has the UK's leaving the European Union had any impact on attitudes of Qatari investors and the prospects for attracting them to be new investors in this country or to continue with their investments? So has there been a downside in investment from Qatar into the UK because of Brexit?
I don't think so. There is an impact, because the interest of investors in Qatar is not being built on the Brexit. It's built on the strength of the economy of the UK and the opportunities here that provided by the British economy is attracting the Qatari investors. Maybe just only the pandemic that has an impact, not the Brexit itself. We will see, hopefully after we recover from this pandemic, that we'll see the interest of investment will be more directed to here to UK. There will be a new opportunities on the market that will attract many Qatari investors. As I mentioned just a while ago, the investment in the development of vaccination and the companies of the vaccination and the pharmaceutical companies are increasing there in Qatar. That will be an opportunity to discuss, but the Brexit will be considered as an opportunity. I know that bilateral and multilateral through the GCC also discussion of the free trade agreement is going on that will bring more opportunities in the future.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now, this is the last question I'm going to put. Although there are, as I say, many more, and we might be able to speak later about them and address them through our journal. What are the advantages and incentives to firms looking to set up business in Gatta? And I think in many ways you've actually answered that, Mr. Abdullah. But the specific question about that is, what is the procedure and which agency should anybody wishing to start up a business, which agency should they approach? Now, we've already said you are there in the embassy, and I reiterate that we are here as the Arab British Chamber of Commerce, and my first class CEO is listening very carefully to everything, and I must say his team have been working absolutely flat out during this pandemic, and I want to publicly thank him very much for everything that he has done. But from your point of view, Mr. Abdullah, what would you say was the best approach if you want to get started up in Gatta?
Yes, I think, as I mentioned before, there is the two maybe organizations that can really help a potential investor go step by step. There is the invest.qa, which is the Invest Qatar brand that we presented about today. And there is also the single window, which is the business single window of Qatar. I don't have the address, the link on me now, but if you Google, single window business Qatar, you will get the link. There are contact details. This is the single window and the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And their job is to help you understand how to start a business, but also help you take all the steps. They will assist you with every step, even filling the applications and submitting them and reviewing them, and all the steps necessary until your business is actually established. And then in terms of incentives, something that we sometimes forget to mention also is that Qatar ranks as sometimes either number 1 or 2 as the safest country in the world. It is very safe to be in Qatar. It is one of the most family-friendly destinations. It's a very safe, family-friendly place to live, to bring your family if you want to start a business. If you want to live there, it's easy to employ as well. Zero income tax, 10% corporate tax that can easily be waived if you submit a request to the Ministry of Commerce. We have the free zones, we have the special economic zones, and as we mentioned, the connectivity. If your business is based in Qatar, and Qatar is a small country, so when we encourage you to start a business in Qatar, we're not asking you to cater to Qatar only. We're asking you to establish a business that can then, we help you to export outside of Qatar. with the help of Qatar Airways, the free zones, the Hamad port. As we saw, in terms of connectivity, you can reach more than 60% of the world population, more than 160 destinations through Qatar Airways, more than 40 ports through Hamad port. So, just come start your business and start exporting. It should be as simple as that. And if you face any issues, we're here to help.
Great answer. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for all the answers you've given. I think the job of commercial attaché is always one of the most exciting in the embassies. You clearly enjoy it a great deal, and you've obviously got huge enthusiasm for it. So thank you very much, because you've obviously taken quite a lot of the burden of the questions that we've had, and if I may say so, you've dealt with them in an excellent manner. But I must also, and most importantly, thank Your Excellency for being with us today. I think that Gatta is one of the most receptive, most welcoming of the countries. I have to say, I visited in my time as a minister in the British government all the countries of the Arab Middle East, and Gatta has to really be one of the most welcoming, if not most, then one of them certainly, that I would say is always a good experience for British tourists as well as for British business people. And if I may say, best of luck next year with the World Cup. We all hope it is a great success for Gatta. Absolutely fantastic that you have managed to get the World Cup to Gatta. Extraordinary success for your country, and we all wish you well and hope it is something that you will all enjoy and remember. And finally, I turn again to my own Secretary General and CEO, who has sat patiently throughout while his chairman has put these questions. Banda Al-Reda has been an extraordinary CEO and Secretary General of the Arab British Chamber of Commerce. He has kept going through thick and thin throughout this appalling COVID pandemic. His staff are still all on board, and the ones that haven't had to be furloughed are coming in. They are faithful to the work that they have to do. And I do congratulate him for the leadership that he has shown. Thank you very much. I don't often have the opportunity to thank you in public, but I do today. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us today. I hope you have not only learnt a great deal, but I hope you've enjoyed it too. I think it's been a great discussion, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you for being with us, and we hope to meet you again in person soon. Thank you.
Thank you.